What's going on, folks, and welcome back to the party. With the recent delay of Amazon's New World and the community in need of games to burn time, I figured today would be the perfect opportunity to introduce you guys to an MMO I fell in love with the moment I played it. It's about to enter its Steam launch after about 14 to 15 years since its release, and even though it's got old school graphics and animation, feature-wise it is one of the most detailed sandboxes I've ever seen. For those of you who played Life is Feudal, this is a game I've always considered to be the grandfather of that game, and a few others. I'm talking, of course, about Wurm Online. I'm going to make this short by giving you a quick introduction to the game, followed by some tips on how to help you get started, and how you can find me in-game if you'd like to play together with our community. Right, so let's start with the game itself. Wurm is a massive sandbox MMO developed by Code Club AB and released in 2006. Very long time ago and still kicking. The game runs on Java, and two of the original developers that I remember the most are Rolf Jansen and Marcus Persson, also known as Notch, the creator of Minecraft. And you will see some similarities in this game as well. Wurm has a lot of different features that make it unique. It's a game that I've often compared to being the medieval version of EVE Online. And the community dedication is absolutely legendary. It's free to play, but does have an optional subscription service that gives you full access to the game. To break it down, if you start off as a free player, you can level up your skills, explore the world, engage in just about everything other people can, but your skills can't go higher than a certain point. There's only certain mounts you can ride, ships you can sail, buildings you can make, things like that. If you have someone with you who's a premium player, they could in theory just build all that stuff for you. And the way we get premium is either through buying it through the online shop, or you can buy it with the in-game coin currency. This currency can be used to fuel the economy, plop down settlements for communities, declare player-made kingdoms, put up player-made merchants, traders, and more. You can also earn this currency in-game to pay for your premium, but you might have to work for other people, or buy and sell things, for example. Wurm features a lot of player versus player and player versus environment elements. You've got siege warfare, destructible environments, the ability to dominate or tame animals and creatures to pit them against your enemies, the ability to take part in huge battles, or even use the terrain to your advantage like tunneling near an enemy base. For player versus environment, you've got even more options. All kinds of different ways to craft and build. Over 130 to 140 different skills to master, so many different weapon choices, ranging from all kinds of variations. Short swords, long swords, one-handed axes, two-handed axes, short bows, long bows, and a lot in between. Gathering-wise, you've got fishing, animal husbandry, mining, woodcutting, archaeology, terraforming, and for crafting you've got even more. There's even religion in the game that gives you the opportunity to follow what are known as the white light gods, or even the evil one known as the black light god. You can eventually become a priest who can cast magic spells or enchant equipment, but it does come with restrictions. In the original version of Wurm, you could even go so far as to become a demigod, which allowed a handful of players to ascend and become gods of their own, with their own followers. We can't do that in the Steam version though, sadly. That doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of Wurm, but hopefully that gives you an idea of what you're dealing with. Now for the Steam launch, we should have one PvE server and one PvP based one. Just recently got a look at the maps and I'll show them right here. These ones might work different from the original one where we might not be able to sail between the PvE one and the PvP one, but we'll find out tomorrow how the Steam one will work. But I will be joining the PvP server known as Defiance. If I'm playing Wurm, I gotta get the full package, even if that means getting a huge maul being buried into my character's face. Also going to be playing on the Gen Kalan faction if they give us the choice. Make sure to follow that if you want to join up with us. Alright, now let's briefly cover these tips. First one, like I said before, Wurm has very old school graphics and animation. When you first get into game, it can be very overwhelming as to where to start. My first tip, if you're focusing on melee combat, a trick you should know is you can gain weapon experience by chopping down trees with your weapon. This gives you a really good way to earn experience without dying early on. Along with that, you want to go for the lower end mobs first. Don't try to take on a cave troll or a hellhound on your first day, especially if it's a champion one. Go for the dogs, go for the rats, wildcats, and eventually lions. Goblins and wildlife are pretty easy too. Training dummies can also be made with the proper skills, so be sure to make use of that as well. Next tip, gathering. Where to find mines. For miners, you'll need to start with prospecting. Doing this allows you to search the land from above ground and try to find out where the ore nodes are. Keep in mind that these resources don't replenish themselves, so over time you might clear out an entire mine and have to go deeper or start another. Make sure you do the prospecting above ground. It won't work as well if you're already in the cave. Once you are ready to start a tunnel, you need to activate your pickaxe by double clicking on it and right click on the rock itself, then start tunneling. It'll take you like 40 to 60 sequences to actually make it. Be sure to keep that in mind. Next up is building. If you want to start building your house, first thing to remember is you might have to terraform. Good way to practice this is to find an area you can dig and just start digging up dirt and placing it right back on the ground. For those of you that played Life is Feudal, this follows a very similar system. You have to flatten the ground either by adding dirt or digging it up based on the current elevation of the tile you're standing on. Once you do that, you can start planning the house before you build it to get an idea of how you want it to look. For the actual process of building the house and everything you need to get started, I would recommend checking out wurmpedia.com and search for Build House. After that, we have the tool belt. In Wurm, you'll find that you're going to be doing a hell of a lot of clicking, but there are tricks to how you can make your life a whole lot easier. Hotkeys are one way, which you can find a ton of them in the options, but also things like the tool belt. This allows you to place equipment, tools, and other items on it, so you don't have to open your inventory and double click to activate it every time. Make sure to put your tool belt on as soon as you get it and start putting things on it to make life easier. Next up, speaking of keybinds, one specific one you will want to look for under the action tab of keybinds is the call for help one. Find this one as soon as possible. I bound mine to the N key. When you have something targeted, something hostile like a bear, this hotkey automatically types guards in local chat. If you are near a settlement or a guard tower out in the wilds, the nearby NPCs will come to your defense and attack whatever is trying to kill you. It's important to know that these guards are strong, but they're also killable. They do respawn, but it's best to keep that in mind if you're being chased by a dragon. And if you are, most likely you probably died 5 minutes before reaching this point. By the way, you can breed or hunt dragons. Next tip after that is to make sure you use your tent if they give you one. Placing your tent down allows you to have a respawn point, hitch animals like horses to it, and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier in general, especially if you are scouting out a good place to call home. Keep in mind that the game has directional combat, so making use of the fighting keybinds will be very useful. By default, they should be bound to your numlock keys. You can also do special moves once you get more proficient, like stunning people, draining stamina, and other ones. Next tip, the plots of land. I'll probably expand on this later depending on how it works with the Steam version, but essentially, if you're planning to start a guild or have a community coming in, plots of land are created by using a settlement deed, which you can usually buy with those in-game coins at the starting settlement. These deeds protect your buildings from decay if I remember correctly, and also spawn different types of guards to protect your land. Keep in mind that on the PvP server, once you're outside the settlement, people could choose to go criminal and attack you. But luckily, Wurm does have criminal penalties and these guards will usually tear through those kinds of people. But be sure to keep that danger in mind. Another tip, building underground or inside caves. Now, unlike a lot of sandboxes, Wurm allows you to do just about anything you can think of. If you want to completely tear down a mountain, make an island out of a land formation, or anything in between that, you can. One of the coolest things about this is that you can build underground and place all sorts of furniture, workbenches, and other things inside it. I once went into a base that started out as a cave entrance and went all the way up a slant and turned into a fortress built at the very top of a mountain. If you guys want to pursue building out the mines of Moria, you can. Next tip, make sure to get pottery jars or water skins to store water in your inventory. This game features a nutrition system, similar to games like Scum, and having a balanced diet will allow you to get experience bonuses while trying to level up your skills. The game has no classes, by the way, so you can level up anything you want, but it's way better to specialize because it's very grindy. Water plays a big part in this also. It will affect things like your stamina regeneration, which you will need for several interactions. Make sure to keep a container of it handy, even if it's a bucket of water in your backpack. Next up, make sure to forage and botanize every single tile you terraform or gather from. Foraging and botanizing allows you to get seeds, produce, and other things from the tile, so make sure that none of it goes to waste and gather as much as you can from it. This applies if you're terraforming, cutting down trees, anything like that. Always make the most out of what you're doing. Your crafters and cooks will love you for it. For traveling and navigation, make use of the compass. Should appear in the top right corner and you need to be standing still for it to settle and show you exactly which direction you're looking at. Please be sure to make use of this whenever possible. You don't want to end up like me who got lost for 18 hours in this game one time because I took a wrong turn trying to find my body when I died. We're almost done, but next up, if you do animal husbandry, make sure you right click on your team to regular animals and care for them. This should keep them from dying from old age. And also you can type /caring for to show the current ones you're looking after. Make sure to type /help when you can too. A lot of useful chat commands will show up in there. Lastly, for choosing a religion, in the original version there were 3 gods known as the White Light Gods, Bo, Benora, and Magranon, followed by the Black Light God of Libela. If you have anyone already following the religion, they can convert you. Or for the White Light Gods, find that beaming white light in the sky and follow it. It'll lead you to the altar of the gods. For the Black Light God, just follow the black light in the sky. Make sure to keep in mind, if you become a priest eventually, you will have certain restrictions based on which religion you follow. But in turn, this lets you do cool things like becoming a mage to cast spells or enchanting items. Highly recommend checking out the Wurmpedia for more info. But with that folks, that's all the tips I have for you currently. There's a lot more to learn about Wurm, but I can't fit it all into one video, and I want to make sure I get this out to you guys before the game launches on Steam tomorrow. If you have any questions or concerns, make sure to use the global chat in-game, and you can also join the Wurm Discord where there are hundreds of dedicated community members there to help you. Don't forget that I'll be on the Defiance server for PvP. I'll be burning time for the next few weeks until the preview event for New World, but I'll probably play the game even more after that too. If you don't like the idea of doing PvP, don't worry because there will be a PvE server as well. And with that folks, thanks very much for joining me to reintroduce Wurm Online. I actually found my account from 7 years ago and started playing again to get some of this footage. Have a wonderful night or day, and farewell.